day, and I'm proud of our kids. They did such a great job of competing for 19 innings, and obviously been a grind of a week like it always is. And we just ran out of time. And again, though, it's just been a crazy year for us, and just having to overcome so much. And obviously the fall was crazy. Just a couple guys that Rudy Gomez tearing his ACL at the end of his junior college season and missing the fall. A couple other guys that missed the fall that we just had never got a chance to. Kyle Kramer that we just ended up not throwing just to keep him healthy and just not feeling great. Just didn't want to push it. We never got a chance to see him, and so we come obviously then with Ben McCabe going down and needing Tommy John surgery here next week, and having to play first base all year. Put the first one, and then Zach Bennett and Riley Walsh breaks his finger. And, obviously Connor and Hunter, the seasons that they had, and Rowe. I mean, it's just been one after the other and been really difficult. And there were some games where our kids were shell shocked, and I felt like we didn't show up, but we snapped out of it every single time and just kept showing up. Showed so much toughness. If you had told me that we'd have all these injuries and we'd still win, 35 games and make it to the second game of the semifinals in this championship, I don't know if I would have believed you. So that's just a testament to the staff and how hard they worked every single day to try to keep guys on the field, especially, Andrew Sundin, who just caught his tail off and was not prepared to catch as many games as he did, and got just working hard to keep him on the field. And but the staff just did a great job showing up every day, and then the players, man, they just showed unbelievable toughness. No Orlando and Trent Taylor just stepping in. Obviously Andrew Sundin and obviously the older guys. I mean, Ben McCabe just had a monster day today, and just a great season for us. Alex Freeland was, it was good to see him back, and obviously had a huge day. At the end of the day, we just ran out, it was just going to be a battle of who was standing last, and they made one more pitch and got one more hit, and we just couldn't do it. So it's unfortunate, sad to see, David Litchfield's career come to an end. You know that everyone's career comes to an end, but that's going to be a tough one for me, just because he's meant so much to me personally and so much to our program. And but I'm proud of all of our kids. I told them to walk out of here with their heads high. The way that we competed, especially since Wednesday, has just been amazing. And again, just the year that we've had, our young men are special kids, and I'm proud of them. And this, today's loss doesn't change any of that.
Coach, you talked about this being a long day. What are the emotions, the ups and the downs? These were two evenly matched teams throughout two games.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a roller coaster, and it's hot, and it's long, and you're just trying to pull as much out of you as you can. And obviously, it's probably a lot easier to do it as an 18 to 22-year-old as it is a 43-year-old. But I thought the kids were awesome. I mean, Cole Russo, just an energy captain, just brought so much energy in the dugout, and I think that kept everybody going. And it's different because you have so many guys in the bullpen for this, because you're just trying to piece everything together. So there's not as many players in the dugout, and Cole just brought energy the entire week, and just amazing, what we drew from that. But I mean, we had energy all day. We just left it out we all left it all out on the field, and I know that it's an emotional. Anytime you finish the season with a loss, it's an emotional time. Guys crying and guys knowing that their careers might be over. And, some guys think that their UCF careers might be over. And it's sad, and but at the same time, man, I'm just proud of the kids, and I'm tired. That's for sure.
Sad now, but a couple of hours ago, elation on that walk-off. Take us through that moment. That really just the team, the lift that it had needed going into the next game.
Yeah, I mean, I thought obviously just Jeffrey and just did what he's done, the last 3 years. And, again, you're just trying to get a run there. You're just doing what you can. And our guys did a great job of just continuing to fight and continue to find a way to put some guys on base. And then Jeffrey with a huge hit. Obviously, huge excitement. And it's tough because then you got 47 minutes where you get this huge elation, and then you gotta, there's that down, and then you got to get it right back up. And both teams, struggled. We give up 3 and make a couple errors, and then they give up 3, and bam. And then it seemed like it was quiet for a while, and both teams were trying just to get their feet underneath them and find the energy. And then we just kept throwing blows, trading blows back and forth. They hit a homer, we hit a homer. Like they get a big hit, we get a big hit. Like just went back and forth. And again, they just got the last one.
What was your thinking on William Saxton? Ends the game and then you bring him right back out.
Yeah, I mean, it's just thought it was the safest play. If we let him sit, we were just worried that would make it harder for him to try to come back. And so we felt like he was hot and warm. So just keep him moving for the next 30 minutes and get him loose again, instead of letting him sit for 2 hours and then trying to bring him back. And again, we knew we were going to be low on bullets, and we needed something out of him in that game too. We knew we were going to need pretty much everyone that we had left in the bullpen, and so we just figured it was the best play was to just let him ride and straight summer travel ball. But we felt like that was the best play for not only him but for us to get something out of him, whether it was going to be an inning or 2 innings or 3 innings, whatever we could get, and obviously keep him safe as well.
You mentioned Rudy earlier. He really delivered for you during this tournament.
Yeah, it was huge. I mean, he had a big step up these last 2 games and just looked really good. And he didn't feel great today, but he said, "I'll just give you what I got." And I mean, he was awesome for 2 innings. And it just he ran out of gas, and I'm glad, appreciate his honesty. He just said, like, "Coach, like I'm running out of gas." Like, but he gave us 2 huge innings, and we were hoping for 1, and we got 2. So. It was big. It was a big-time step up from him. And Jacob Marlowe pitched great today. We didn't make enough plays. We had 2 or 3 balls that should have been made. It cost us 3 or 4 runs and ended up being the difference in the game. And again, we just didn't throw enough strikes, especially late in the game, and put some free bases on. We scored.
You tried to make the pitching moves that you could here. What was your thinking on Connor Stain?
Yeah, I mean, it's just tough. Obviously, Connor got a bright future ahead of him, and the last thing I want to do is get him hurt. And we were just trying to put him in the right situation, and obviously thought about putting him there in the end of the game, but just the command was a little off in his last outing. And so just want to try to get him a clean inning and see what we had. So if we'd gone the next inning, he probably would have come back out there. He would have started tomorrow if we could have made it. So, but obviously, just got to protect. The guy has a really bright future in professional baseball, and you got to do whatever you can to try to protect him the most as you can, but at the same time trying to win the game and put him in the right situation based off of how he's pitched the last 2 outings. And so just wanted to make sure that it was a situation where he could get settled in and not, he amps up and he feeds off of that emotion, and I just didn't want to put him in a situation where he came in where he didn't have much room for throwing strikes if he was a little bit wild or whatnot, that I didn't want to put him in a situation where he walked in the winning run or whatnot. And I knew that he was going to get geeked up and try to throw it as hard as he possibly could, because this is how he pitches. So, it just didn't work out.
Your offense showed out throughout this tournament, but today, Ben McCabe, Alex Freeland, I mean, they really came up big when you needed them.
They're huge. I mean, Ben's done it all year, and so is Alex. I mean, Alex would have put up some really monster numbers if he doesn't miss, 5 weeks or whatever. So, but again, Alex made some great plays at short, and again, both those guys just had huge home runs and just had great days today. And I'm proud of them. It's tough to show up for 18 innings and play the way that they played today, and, especially for Alex, who hasn't played a ton the last 5 weeks, and to come out here and do what he did. There's a reason why he's our best player, and there's a reason why he's going to get paid a lot of money to play this game.
What's your takeaway, your memory going to be of this team?
I told the kids afterwards just the toughness, and I pray that they draw from this, and I talked about it in some earlier press conferences early in the year, where it was like, there's going to be bad things that happen in their life, some worse than others, and I just pray that they draw from this experience and being able to overcome, and that the worst possible scenarios aren't really that bad if you just show up and the sun comes up every day and just continue to show up and work, and whether that's at your marriage or your job or whatever the case is, like, things are going to happen to you, and just don't feel sorry for yourself, and just show up every day and continue to work and continue to fight and continue to overcome, and kind of that next man up mentality. Like, I'm going to remember how tough these kids were and how much they had to overcome, and had such a great season considering all the stuff that we had to deal with. And again, I pray that they will draw from that and continue to grow from that, and be better husbands and fathers because of that.
One or two from the Zoom. We'll start prices.
Coach, looking at today, the batters really kept the Knights in this game, whether it was Alex Freeland, Ben McCabe hitting home runs, or Sonny and Jostin. When you look at where these bats started this season and now, how big would you say the improvement was getting to this point where they really kept you in the game this long?
Yeah. Well, those two guys have been really good for us. Ben had a really good year for us last year, and obviously Alex, had a great year. So, those are just two guys that have carried our offense all year, and obviously our offense, we just sputtered at times early, just trying to find the right mix when Romano went down and things like that, and just trying to find the right guys with Ben having to play first base, and then obviously Wash breaking his finger. So, and then getting everybody going and trying to get everybody going at the same time. We talk all the time about just playing our best baseball at the end of the year. And again, I'm just proud of all of them, because we played our best baseball here, and we did it. We had to overcome so much to do it, and but again, Ben and all those guys. Ben and Alex have a ton of it. Ben has a ton of at bats in college, like just an older guy that just gets it, and just made some great adjustments, and he hit the ball hard this week. It was awesome to see.
The last one, Jeff.
Hey, Coach. Obviously, every season's different. This is 2 years in a row, though. You guys made a deep run in the conference tournament. And obviously, every season's going to have its trials and tribulations. But overall, how do you feel, as far as the state of the program, UCF?
Yeah, I think, we've been moving in the right direction. Obviously 2020 was frustrating just because we ranked 12th in the country and get shut down. And obviously last year was just a crazy year for us with COVID and stuff. But really bounced back and had a second half that was awesome in conference, and then obviously made the run to the championship. And this year, obviously on paper, I felt like this was our best team that we had ever had. Coming into it, it's just tough with the injuries, but I think just with the amount of players that we have returning and the younger guys that got a ton of action, and obviously we'll see what happens with the draft, but I felt like we really took a step forward in terms of how tough we were, and just the things that we're able to do with a lot of guys that were unprepared for the roles that they had, that we couldn't protect guys like I would have liked some younger, newer guys. We had to throw them into the fire. A guy like Andrew Sundin, again, not prepared to catch as much as he had to catch, but it was our only option, and obviously with the way he was playing, would have liked to protect him some more, but I just wasn't able to, just because of all that. So we had to throw guys in the fire, and we had some guys that, again, we didn't think their roles were going to be as big as they had to be, and they had to step up and do well. So we had to show our depth, which I think keeps getting deeper and deeper every single year. And again, I think the depth of the program showed this year, of losing so many guys and still being able to win so many games. So we're in the right direction. We just got to continue to to grow and continue to recruit great players and continue to put them in the right situations. And hopefully we can stay healthy next year and continue that trend.
Make that the last one.